Hello and welcome. My name is Drake Baker. Today I'm going to be showing you the file pathway to get your design from the CAD software on your left to the real life thing on your right. Alright, so before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out to my sources. The first being Academy Creator Australia with their full video guide on the MonoX printer's printing process, as well as Levine Z's full article guide on the MonoX printer. I myself have 4 years of experience printing and love it. And hopefully today I will be able to help you get from your CAD software file all the way to your slicer to be able to put it on your printer to print. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to need is the CAD software. And this is where your model is going to be, and if you don't already have a model, this is where you can make one. I suggest Fusion 360 from Autodesk because it's free and it has lots of tools. The next software we're going to use after our CAD software is the slicer software. I recommend Levine Slicer because it's free and it also has lots of capability of making your model great. Your slicer software is going to be where you put your final touches on your model. The last thing you're going to need is a USB drive. USB drive is purely going to be used from taking the file from your computer to your printer to print. So Alright, moving on to our next step is going to be in Fusion 360, our CAD software. So as you can see, I already have a model created, and if you don't already have one, this is where you'll make one. So our first step in here to get our first file type is we're going to go up here and select Utilities on our toolbar on the far right. Under Utilities, we're going to select Make, 3D Print, and the first thing it's going to ask us to do is select. So I'm going to go ahead and select my entire model. Come over here, and STL is perfect. Unit type can be whatever you'd like. These do not matter. And if this is selected, you'll notice that your OK symbol is grayed out. So you want to make sure this is unselected so that you can hit your OK button. So we're going to go ahead and hit Select OK. You need to go to whatever folder location you'd like to save this and ensure that it's an STL file and named appropriately. And go ahead and hit save. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with our next software. Our next software is going to be our Levine Slicer, and this will be your slicer software. After you get your program set up, you'll be prompted to drop and drag your files here. So we'll go ahead and hit Add Files. Go to the folder in which you saved your CAD file that we just created. So mine is right here, and double click. It'll place your object on the workplace. From here, in the Layout and Prepare tab, you can prepare your model for final printing. In the Layout tab, you can adjust and then move your print around the workspace. And in your Prepare tab, you can adjust your supports and infill and other various items you'll need to ensure that your print is what you want. So after you have it the way you like it, hit the Export tab on the far right, go to the Export Slices portion, and from here, you will add in whatever printer you're going to use to print your object. For me, I'm using an Anycubic MonoX, and it has automatically selected the print type file that I will need for my printer, which is very handy. Things to avoid is to ensure that you select the correct printer type, that you don't accidentally get the wrong file and it will have issues later, and to ensure that your model is exactly the way you like it, because this will print it exactly the way you have it in this workspace and nothing different. So after you have everything set up the way you'd like, you want to export slices to file, and if you use the free version, it's going to play an ad. For you guys, I will go ahead and skip past this ad and continue what's afterwards. So after your ad gets done playing, you'll see that your file is ready to save in the same folder that you selected your original CAD print from. Here you'll see it's defaulted to the same name as what you used for your CAD file, so I suggest changing it by just a little bit to know which one's which. You can also see that my file type has changed to the kind of printer that I'm using. So go ahead and hit save, and then you can watch a cool rendition on how your print will actually print during the printing process. So after it's completed, you'll see that your slicing has been finished. You'll get an estimated print time, the amount of resin volume you'll use if you're using a resin printer, and your estimated price. From here, you'll be prompted to open a folder displaying where your print is located. So it'll show you exactly where your print is located, and you can see I made my name a little bit different, so we can see that this is the sliced file. You can also see it in the type over here, and so this will be where your sliced file resides. And from here, we'll move on to adding it to our. Alright, so now we can get started on the very last step. So as you can see, I have the folder open that has our file type in it, our sliced file, and our file for USB drive. From here, all we need to do is copy our sliced file and paste it inside of our USB drive. From here, you can take the file that's located in this USB drive and plug the USB drive into your printer and print your file. And you can see how it turns out. That concludes this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped you get your file from your CAD software to your slicer software to your printer. Best of luck.